The miserable pile of pixels.
What's up there, summoners and other bros? It's finally time to talk about the top 10 Season 5 support champions, as I'll try to be as accurate as possible when it comes to the decision making overall. Anyways, my name is Hepodix and hope you enjoy the video. Bard, the Wandering Caretaker, is one of the newer supports added to the roster, and quite frankly he works out pretty excellent overall. Bard's abilities consist a great mix of damage, mobility and sustain to keep you going. Cosmic Binding lets you slow opponents and even stun if the projectile hits a wall or second target. Caretaker's Shrine lets Bard create shrines that either himself or ally can walk into for some extra health and movement speed boost. Magical Journey is quite fun too, because it lets your team and even the enemy team travel through this one-way magical corridor, which is placed between big obstacles that you would flash over usually. Bard's ultimate Tempered Fate is basically an AoE version of Zhonya's Hourglass, and it's also the ability that will either make or break it for your team, because there are so many ways to execute it. Also with Bard's passive, you're able to collect chimes across the map, which enhances Bard's overall presence, which all in total makes up quite a different support, but not bad by any means.
A rolling golem gathers no rust.
Blitzcrank, the Great Steam Golem, is one hell of a classic when it comes to supports, and by far one of my favorite picks too. The combo Blitz has with his Rocket Crab plus Power Fist combined is still quite amazing, as it lets you hook those squishy targets for some easy gold. Grabbing more tanky opponents might not be the best idea, but it's always situation dependent whether it's risky or not. However, Blitzcrank doesn't have any utility or sustain tools to keep your AD carry alive, which makes him more reliant on succeeding that Rocket Crab frequently. And honestly, it's sort of a gamble when you go with Blitz, because you will either do an outstanding lane phase or ruin it totally by missing every hook and blaming the lag or something else for that.
Stay at the vanguard.
Leona is one of the supports that is very strong in terms of hard crowd control and tankiness combined. She's also known for her initiate pressure and how she is able to withstand the damage during the process. Needless to say, Leona can even double stun thanks to her Shield of Daybreak and Solar Flare while dashing in with Zenith Blade and sustaining the damage with Eclipse. However, it is important to find the balance between when you really want to initiate in and when not, because it's easy to just jump in and mash the cooldowns, realizing too late that your marksman is in trouble, as you have to carefully make the decision to either use your abilities offensively or defensively.
Life is good, no?
Braum, the Mustache Man, the Heart of Freljord, is a very strong and resilient melee support that is capable of making game-changing plays. Braum's passive Concussive Blows is an amazing crowd control tool for you and for your AD carry's auto attacks, as upon reaching 4 stacks the enemy will be stunned. Braum also has a great defensive tools to support your marksman, like Unbreakable blocks many sorts of enemy projectiles, and Stand Behind Me, which grants sustain and lets him reposition for maximum defense output. Braum's ultimate Glacial Fissure is great in both defensive and offensive gameplay due to its high crowd control and pressure output. Overall, Braum comes out very tanky when it comes to supports and shines even more if there are champions in your team that highly abuse auto attack as their main damage source.
I'll have my revenge.
Morgana is one of the champions that are considered to be strong in two roles, mid lane AP caster or regular poke based support, where the latter role is being more common at the moment. The main reason she's being so popular as a support is because of her black shield, as you're able to withstand any sort of magic damage that's coming at ya or your marksman. Also, her Dark Binding and Soul Shackles abilities makes up an excellent crowd control combination, with up to 2 stuns plus Tormented Soil works out excellent as a harass tool combined to the mix.
Any pejorative of bullheadedness is pulverized by your magnificence.
Tahm Kench is the latest support champion in League of Legends as of patch 5.14, who makes for a fine support thanks to his unrivaled ability to save his AD carry from otherwise impending death. His trademark ability Devour lets Tahm eat one of his allies to prevent high damage output coming, or if you eat the enemy you can crowd control them for extra amount of time. Tahm Kench can also poke nicely by using his Tongue Lash, sustain the enemy damage with thick skin, and even carry himself and one of his allies to intended destination by using the Abyssal Voyage. This all sounds very attractive overall, but mastering the Devour and Abyssal Voyage might take some time due to the fact that you can be either really successful support using those prime cooldowns or ruin it completely by eating the wrong person and or traveling in the wrong place at wrong time, for example.
You are in the deep end now.
Nautilus, the Titan of the Depths, has to be the most versatile champion in this list, because I've seen this buddy played in jungle, top lane and now as a support too, which is the most popular choice for now. What makes him so adjustable though is his insane crowd control capabilities, as he got plenty of ways to interrupt the enemy movement, and at the same time he's surprisingly tanky too because of Titan's Wrath that grants him shield which scales for his maximum health. With Nautilus's passive Staggering Blow, he can root the enemy briefly with his basic attack. Dredgeline throws an anchor that lets him initiate to the enemy with brief stun in it, and with Riptide, Nautilus creates wavy explosions around him that slow the enemy as well. But that's not all, even the ultimate Depth Charge has a crowd control function in it, as it knocks the enemy champion up once targeted to the enemy successfully. Overall, even though Nautilus doesn't have the most straightforward support tools to use, it's the sick amount of crowd control that keeps him viable and those marksmen alive as well.
Yes, it's true. For only $2.95 a minute, I will leave you breathless.
Janna the Storm's Fury is without a doubt one of the best supports in the game, as she functions well as an highly utilitarian and CC-oriented caster. Janna has plenty of ways to crowd control the enemy, such as Howling Gale knocks the enemies up when succeeded, and Zephyr slows single target enemy while it grants passively movement speed to her while it's not on cooldown. Janna's ultimate Monsoon knocks the enemies back too, but also heals the ally team when channeled further. That mixed with her main sustain ability Eye of the Storm combines an excellent support altogether, as you can either shield your ally for some sustain and bonus attack damage, or even the turret that can help you sometimes to deny the enemy for pushing your side's turret.
Mess with the bull and you get the horns.
Alistar is one of the classic champions from this list, as he might haven't had his spotlight earlier, but after fully thinking he really hits high standards for this role. Alistar is mostly recognized for his WQ combo, which lets him initiate with Headbutt that instantly follows up to Pulverize, which is 2 types of knocks combined, as the latter one can even hit multiple targets. That's not all though, because he can also heal briefly himself and nearby allies with Triumphant Roar, and his passive Trample lets him ignore unit collision and deal some damage after using an ability. Unbreakable Will is the ultimate that really makes Alistar tanky, as you gain 70% reduced damage, some attack damage, and upon activation it even removes all crowd control effects from himself, similar to Quicksilver's Sash, which is just amazing sustain altogether. Overall, Alistar comes out very popular, especially in competitive play, and his WQ combo is almost unresistible when succeeded due to the fact that you cannot cleanse or Quicksilver Sash the knock air or knock back abilities. But before we take a look at the number 1 support for Season 5, let's first quickly see some of the honorable mentions. Annie is a support that has been seen in mid lane too, but her great burst damage comes out useful in bottom lane situations too. Karma is one of the less common picks for support, but her kit allows decent damage mixed with some sustain well put together. Lulu is also seen sometimes in the bottom lane, as her abilities are very sustain based, but works well for many situations to come. Nami is a good support with a solid kit in her back, but usually landing the Aqua Prison comes out crucial when trying to succeed with her. Sona is a very straightforward support too, with her aura stances that can be adjusted depending on the lane situation. Soraka is the champion that has seen some rework in the past, and it quite works nice for her, as she can heal enormous amounts of health while keeping the combat interesting too. The last honorable mention is Vel'Koz, as he kinda reminds me of Annie because of Vel'Koz's devastating laning pressure and damage he will execute with the true damage passive mixed in.
Torment comes in so many flavors.
Thresh the Chain Warden is a support that I've already talked about several times before, and in terms of viability he's going nowhere from the best supports list in my opinion. His abilities are so versatile that it's insane just to think how many different ways you can accomplish the combos, which will be dependent of the situation given. Thresh's passive Damnation lets him collect souls of the dead from enemies, which grants him ability power and bonus armor. Death Sentence is similar to Blitzcrank's Rocket Crab, but instead of grabbing the person next to you, you will stun them, and additionally you can engage to them once the Q has landed. Flay lets Thresh knock the enemy back or forth, and the ultimate, the Box, summons 5 walls around him, as each wall breaks upon contact and slows the enemy by 99%, which is sick. Dark Passage is the true lifesaver, as Thresh throws the lantern, which allows ally to click it to teleport into Thresh's location. All in all, Thresh's abilities comes out excellent